Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Marilyn and my channel is Making with Marilyn. Now on today's video, I'm going to make some earrings out of this beautiful acrylic. It is so gorgeous. Now I have a bright ring light on, so before I move on, I'm going to turn that light off and show you a better picture of this. But this will give you an idea. Look at how gorgeous that is. It goes from blues and greens to pinks and golds. I just love this. I've already done a test cut just to make sure my settings were right. In addition to this, I'll use some earring hardware, the fish hooks, the O-rings. I also have a couple of little needle nose pliers. And then I have this little tool, I don't know what it's called, but it helps you open and close O-rings. I'm also going to use my computer, and again, I'll use my Xtool P2 CO2 laser. Now this software is Xtool's Creative Space software. It's what you use to drive your lasers. Now you can also do some designing in here. I typically don't design here. I usually use a different software to do my designing, but today we're going to do it all right here. Now these are going to be really simple earrings. It's going to be 2 circles stacked on top of each other for each ear. To do that, I'm going to hover over Insert and I'm going to go over here and hit Circle. Then you come over here and you just draw a circle. Now it's not a perfect circle. You can see right now the dimensions are off. To fix that, I'm going to unlock this lock right here. That way I can change the width and the height independently. So let's make them the same, 1.871. Now my earrings aren't going to be that big. I just want to make it a circle first. Now that it's a circle, I'll go ahead and lock it. That way when I change the width, the height will change also. Now I want my earrings to be 0.75 inches in diameter. Not 75 inches, 0.75. Then I'm going to blow up the screen so I can see it just a little bit better. So now what I want to do is I want to add a little circle up here and a little circle down here for some O-rings. What I can do is just copy and paste the circle. Then I'll change the size. So with it selected, I'll hit Command-C for copy, Command-V for paste, and I want this to be 0.08 inches. Now if I try to grab this and drag it, I have found that I just make it wonky. See, I can't really grab a circle that small and drag it. Here's what I can do though. I can click on it and then I can use my right and left arrows, my up and down arrows, and I can get it basically to where I want it. Then I'll get it more precise by using the align feature. Now remember I wanted 2 of those, so I'll copy and paste this one. And then I'll move it down. And also to the left. Move that down just a little bit, move this one up just a little bit, and that's pretty good. Now they're probably not exactly in the center, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select all 3 circles, go up to Align, and then down here I'll click on Horizontal Align Center. And they move just a little bit. Now the other thing is I want to make sure that this circle is the same distance from the top as this one is from the bottom. So I'm going to click one of these circles, hold the Shift key down, add the other one to it, and then I'll say Group. Now let's select everything and we'll go back to Align and Vertical Align Center. Let's see if it moves at all. Very little. Let me show you what I was trying to accomplish. We'll make it really obvious. Okay, so if the top one was closer than the bottom one, and the top one and the bottom one are grouped, select everything, go to Align, and Vertical Align Center, and watch this time. Okay, it moved it down into place. So for the other half of this earring, I just selected everything. I'll hit Command-C for copy, Command-V for paste, and we'll move the whole thing up. All right, so at this time I have an extra circle. My earring hardware goes up here, and then an O-ring connects the top piece to the bottom piece. But this is an extra one down here. So let's get rid of it. I'll select it. I'll say ungroup. And now I can just select that one and delete it. Now I want to go ahead and select both of those, group those together. That way, if I move the circle, the little circle moves too. I haven't grouped these together. If I try to move the circle and I forget to grab those, I've just messed it up. So let's click back and we'll go ahead and select everything and we'll say group. Okay, I'm going to put these pretty close together so we don't waste acrylic. That's one earring. Let's select everything, hit Command C for copy, Command V for paste, and there's our other earring. So at this time, I need to go over to the P2, turn it on, open my window, and then put my vent tube out the window so that the air in this room stays good. Now it wants me to update. Let me go ahead and X that out. And then remember I zoomed way in, so I still have a very close view. Let me go ahead and zoom back out. Now here's the little test cut I did, and then look right here. I messed this up, and I'm going to tell you how I messed it up here in just a minute. And they were just too little. So I'm going to go ahead and move these down into place. You can see it tried to cut here, here, and here, and it was totally my error. Let me explain what I did. Now the X tool has two cameras, one to see the full view, and let me go ahead and zoom out some more so you can see it, and then one where you can get really close up to get a more precise picture of where you are or where your design is on your material. To do that, you click right here on Capture Close View, and then you put the little camera exactly where you want it. Now I'm going to click on it. And then you can probably hear it working over there. Okay, so I see that I could actually move it a little bit to the right. I'm just using the arrow on my keyboard. And I think it's close enough to the bottom. All right, let's talk about how I messed up last time. With these things selected, you can't choose your material settings yet, or you can't choose your material type yet. So I'm going to click off of it, and then I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to use the 3mm transparent acrylic. So I'll click on that, and then if I click back on them, then I can choose my settings. Notice that I only selected one of these, and it was defaulted to score. So what I did was, then I said, okay, let's cut that one, and I didn't do the same for the other three. So let me try something different. Let's see if I can group all three or all four and change the setting at one time. So they're all four selected. I'll say cut. That worked. I'm going to use a power of 100, a speed of 20, and one pass. So I'll say process. Now I have a preview, so I'll say start. Now at this time, I have to go over and press a button on the top of the X tool or it's not going to start. And I think that's a good safety feature just to make sure you're truly ready to go. Now that whole thing only took 28 seconds. That makes me nervous, but let's go see what we have. Now here's the parts and pieces of the earrings, and they turned out really nice. I did have 3 of the holes that didn't come out with the laser, and so I poked those out. You can see those right here. what I did was I just took this little weeding tool and I poked them through. And then here's the hardware that I'm going to use. And these are so easy to use. Let me show you why. I'll just grab a couple out of here. And the reason they're so easy to use is there's this little clasp that's already built into them. These are kind of a darkened silver. And so I have the 2 fish hooks, and then I have all these little O-rings that I can use. I think that this is the right size. If not, if they're too small, then I'll go up one size. But we're going to start out with 2 of these. Now the tools that I'm going to use, I have 2 sets of needle nose pliers. I don't know if I'll need both of them. And then I have this little O-ring tool. I think it's going to be easier to do the earrings if I actually do the O-rings first. So let's go ahead and start with one of those. I want to find where the opening is, and you won't be able to see it, but it is right up here at the top. So I'm going to place my needle nose pliers alongside of it, and I want to get a large piece of the metal so that I don't bend it, or so that I don't make a crease in it. Then I'm going to take this little tool, and I'm going to find a slot that this will fit in. And now I'm just going to twist like this. So I didn't make my O-ring wider. I didn't split it apart that way. I twisted it up. Okay? Let me show you what that looks like now. So we're going to take one of the earrings and just slide it over that. And then I'm going to regroup. It's easier for me to figure it out if I have it the way it goes. So then I'm going to put the other earring over that hole. Now that is pretty bulky. Let's go one size up. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to find where the opening is. And it's such a tight opening, I have to kind of put my fingernail across it to find it. I'll grab on beside it. Now that I went up in size, it doesn't fit in the same slot that it used to, but it fits in this one. I'm just going to hold this right hand still, and I'm going to twist with my left hand. So I made a nice opening. So we'll put the bottom piece on. And then I'm going to do it differently this time. I want to put them on together. So it's going to go like that. So I need to just place it over this side of the O-ring and let it drop. All right, trying to make a little more room for my hand. I think that'll do it. Now I'm going to put this slot back over it and then just turn it in reverse or twist it in reverse. Okay, that looks like it met up really nicely. That's what it looks like so far. Aren't those pretty? Now I'm just going to put this little clasp over it. And then sometimes I can just squeeze these with my hands. I can do that 1 or 2 times, and then my hands hurt so much that I start doing it a different way. And it's very hard to close these with your hands. And you want it that way because you don't want it to be so soft they're going to open easily. All right, so I've got it squeezed down a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is just lay it flat on the table. I'll make sure that I have the little pokey thing in the right place. And then I'm going to take something with a soft edge, so the plastic here is going to protect the metal. And now I'm just going to push that on down. Okay, that looks good and tight. And there's my first earring. Now, those might be a little too much for a lot of people. I'm going to wear them on New Year's Eve. I think they're going to be really pretty and festive. If you like, you can do this with other types of acrylic. Just remember, if you have a diode laser, you're probably going to need to use an opaque black, but that could make some gorgeous earrings as well. Now, I'm just going to fast forward through this other one, then let's regroup. All right, so they are both done. Well, let me put these on. I'm going to come back and show you how they look. So what do you think? I haven't looked in the mirror yet, but just looking in the camera, I think they look pretty cute. It reminds me of why I used to love to wear earrings. It just adds so much. Now all I need to do is make a bling shirt to go with them. So thanks so much for joining me today. I appreciate your time. And until my next video, bye-bye.